Good afternoon, I'm Herman Green with the Midday News. A special welcome if you're watching on onespotmedia.com. The Kingston East Police are at the scene of a murder-suicide which occurred on Rollington town this morning. Dead are Paul Riley and vendor Anika Walker. Their bodies were discovered between 5 and 6 o'clock at their home on Portland Road. Ms. Walker's body was found inside the house with a stab wound to the neck, while Mr. Riley was found hanging inside the washroom. Residents reported that the couple was having relationship problems. They reported that Miss Walker asked Mr. Riley to leave the home, however he refused. Miss Walker's grief-stricken aunt, Darlette Taylor, says her niece did not deserve to die in that manner.
Always taking care of people, kids, and even me. I was sick and she took care of me. She took care of my kids. She's such a nice person. She don't deserve a death like this. She's too kind. Oh my God.
Residents of Yallis and St. Thomas are calling for railings to be placed on a bridge in their community following a fatal crash on Christmas Day. 32-year-old taxi operator Christopher Brown of Market Road in Yallis was killed after his vehicle went over the side of the bridge. Residents say his death could have been prevented if the bridge had guardrails. They're calling for their political representatives to quickly remedy the situation.
The MP, if you come look after the bridge, you want some help with the bridge. The bridge can't stay so. Vehicles are cause accident and go down in a river course. Then clean it out and then do nothing to the bridge can't stay so.
Have a road fix. If you can imagine faster and faster, the bridge need to rail fix or brother and then rail it up and so. The bridge need to get some sort out.
Police reports are that shortly after 6 o'clock Tuesday evening, Mr. Brown was driving his white Toyota Corolla station wagon motor car along the Yallis to Lloyd's Main Road. He attempted to cross the single-lane bridge near the intersection with the Logwood Main Road. However, another vehicle traveling in the opposite direction was already on the bridge. Mr. Brown lost control of the car, which went over into the riverbed and landed on its top. He was seriously injured and was assisted from the vehicle by passers-by. He was, however, pronounced dead at hospital. Meanwhile, a motorcyclist is dead following a collision between his motorcycle and a Mitsubishi van on the Dunbeholden Main Road in St. Catherine early this morning. He has been identified as Travis McLaughlin. The incident occurred about 2 o'clock. The driver of the van, who spoke with TVJ News, said he was traveling from Spanish Town towards Portmore on the Dunbeholden Main Road when he encountered a group of motorcyclists traveling in the opposite direction.
Slow down. I know them like, and one of them just come over right in the vehicle right in the front.
Mr. McLaughlin, who was not wearing a helmet, was thrown from his vehicle, landing on the road. He died at the scene. His motorcycle had no registration plates. The other motorcyclists fled the scene. And the National Road Safety Council, NRSC, is expressing concern about the carnage on the island's roadways over the holiday season. NRSC Vice Chairman Dr. Lucian Jones says road fatalities for this year have long surpassed the total number of deaths for last year. More than 26 persons have been killed on the road in road mishaps so far this month, several of which happened over the past week.
366 people have died for the year so far compared to 320 last year. Given the fact that we had decreased the number of fatalities significantly last year from 379 to 321, we were hoping that would have been much better this year, but it has not turned out to be. So we have to look forward to next year to see what we can do. And I think we can begin with the passage of Road Traffic Act. And in that act, there are a number of things which we believe will make a difference.
To some good news now. Tourist arrivals for the Christmas period reached record levels this year. Data from the Tourism Ministry show more than 34,000 visitors arrived between December 21 and 24. The numbers are 13% more than last year's. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the increase was due to initiatives to engage new and emerging markets. thousands of new airline seats were added for the 2018-2019 December high season out of North America, Canada, the UK, and Northern Europe. The expectation is that more than 4.3 million visitors will arrive this year, spending some $3.3 billion US. Jamaica is aiming to entertain 5 million visitors by 2021, with earnings targeted at $5 billion US in that year as well. With the ban on single-use plastics to take effect next Tuesday, Government Senator Matthew Samuda is warning that any of the banned items remaining in stock on that day will have to be disposed of. He's urging consumers to get reusable bags, as they will not be able to utilize single-use plastic bags after January 1. Mr. Samuda says he's doubtful businesses which have applied to be given time to finish their current stock will be allowed to do so.
There are persons who I know have applied to NEPA for 1 week and up to 1 month layover in some cases. Whether NEPA will approve those or not, I can't speak to. I highly doubt it. But persons have applied and said, well, they have, based on their current rate of usage, they may have this amount left over. And that, but persons have also been told already that they have to dispose of those because they were given adequate time and adequate warning for such.
In September, the government announced bans on single-use plastic bags, straws, and styrofoam containers. The ban applies to bags with dimensions of or below 24 inches by 24 inches. However, the ban excludes bags utilized to maintain public health or food safety standards, such as packaging for baked goods and meats. At least one survivor of the market truck crash in Portland in December 2008 is raising concerns about no compensation for survivors. As you'll hear in this report, novelette Fuller Francis says the accident that claimed 14 lives could have been avoided.
We need some compensation, and I think we should get some compensation from the government.
A survivor of the December 2008 market truck crash in Rio Grande, Portland, voicing her concern about the lack of compensation. Novelette Fuller Francis believes the accident could have been avoided. She says the tragedy, which claimed 14 lives, was due to negligence on the government's part. And that is why she believes the 8 survivors and relatives of the deceased should have been compensated.
Because if the grind which part they make and stop your pass, if then they make the grind reach to the bridge, the truck wouldn't go over there.
To top it off, the area has no street lights. The matter was before the courts, however the case was handed over to the public defender.
It come round where it say after 6 years we can't take no action, right? And now we in a 8th year then come and I say we should have take action. They must say Mr. Emmons at the head public defender, and him have the matter, and at no time you can call and get Mr. Emmons. So we don't know nothing which part I go on.
Mrs. Francis says her livelihood has been affected since the crash. She said mental scars still linger. Since the crash, she has not traveled to the market to sell. She now sells produce at her gate.
Right now, me have my daughter which part I go nursing school, and I can't afford it right now. I can't help her like how I help her, but by the help of God, she going to go through.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
A government minister is calling for the government to finalize a multi-billion-dollar grant said to be available from the Chinese. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Daryl Vaz, said the money would go towards infrastructural improvements in the Blue Mountains. His comments are likely to be well received by some residents who complained to our news team when we visited the area recently.
There is on the table for discussion the possibility of a grant out of China based on my visit to China for a substantial amount, up to $100 million US, which we are also working with Minister Shaw and the Ministry of Finance to see if we can bring that to fruition, because if we do, it means that we would open up the entire area for further coffee production and, of course, tourism and other related.
We go down to news in sports. After a record-breaking 2018 for National Rugby Sevens player Michael Facey, he is now aiming to establish Jamaica more on the international stage. Simon Preston has the details.
18-year-old Michael Facey had a year to remember. After making his debut for Jamaica in the Commonwealth Games, he became the youngest player to score a try in the history of the Rugby Sevens World Cup. Adding to that, the Caribbean Maritime University student scored a tournament record 8 tries to help the Crocs retain their Rugby America's North Sevens title.
2018 on a whole for me has been wonderful. Different experiences gained from every tournament that I've played, and it's building me both mentally and physically as a player and bringing me out more as a man now towards the world so I can impact and move my country forward in the sport.
With Jamaica set to play at the Hong Kong Sevens, the Pan Am Games and the Olympic qualifiers next year, Facey is keen to leave a bigger mark internationally.
In those big tournaments, that's on the World Series where scouts and all those persons are there can see me as a young player playing, and I definitely going to leave an impact there on the pitch.
Chairman of the Jamaica Rugby Football Union, Jerry Benswick, intends to keep him as a regular in the senior team next year.
So, for the Olympic qualifier in June, yeah, that's the first thing. And then the next thing is right after that, the Pan Am Games. Those we have to get him ready for. He will play with the under-19 team, but those are his main focus. And we maybe are, no, in fact, we might not even make him play under-19 this year. Let the other youngsters play. He's a senior now, so we're going to keep him with the seniors and let him just play rugby.
Jamaica's first international assignment of 2019 will be the Hong Kong Sevens from April 5 to 7. Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Simon Preston.
And that's the Midday News. I'm Herman Green. Please join us at 7 for the Primetime News Package. On behalf of the news, sports, and production teams, good afternoon.